cheers. Welcome. I'm Allison. I will be your hostess for this evening. I'm Allison, and this is my podcast, The Bored Housewife, because that is what I am. So welcome. Grab a glass of wine, or if you're listening to this while you're driving, maybe don't try that. That would be illegal, I think, in all states. So grab a glass of water, a Coke, whatever your beverage of choice is, some popcorn, whatever it may be that fits your fancy. And let's have some fun. Wow, I am super pissed. Okay. Ugh. I've almost shot a half hour worth of shit that did not get recorded. I have been talking to nothing for a fucking half hour. Hello, newbie me. Well, let's start from the top again. Hi, I'm Allison Crowell, and this is The Bored Housewife. So, hello and welcome. This is my introduction show. I'm super excited that you found me here. I don't really know what to tell you about what to expect. Not every episode is going to be like this one. I'm literally just rambling in this episode to just kind of give you guys a little bit of insight of who I am and like maybe a little bit of the potential humor, sarcastic, silly, self-deprecating nonsense that I come up with on a daily basis. I want to say I am literally a housewife, and that is it, okay? Most housewives I find are like also stay-at-home mommies or women trying to become stay-at-home mommies. So I don't know what you guys do before that mommy stage comes in. I don't know, are you like in the nursery together, or like you practice like living off of one income? Like I don't know what you guys do, but like I'm not doing any of it, and it's pretty awesome, I gotta say. My husband and I don't think we'll have children. Maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe not. Who knows? But it's just not in the plans in the foreseeable future. I am a aspiring screenwriter who's not writing right now. I have total writer's block. So I heard that sometimes when you throw yourself into other creative things, it helps trigger and inspire more. So let's see if that works. If not, this will just be a huge distraction, and at least I'm doing something, right? So anyways, yeah, so let me explain to you what a housewife with no children does. Not a lot. I have found some new talents that I never would have found otherwise. I cook now. Before I met my husband, or like when we started talking and dating, like I literally ate Subway like 5 nights a week, and he was so scared. He was like, I'm just gonna let you know that I have no intention of eating Subway every single night. I was like, yeah, I understand, it's weird. But, you know, it's good. Subway is delicious. I also love Chipotle. I can't eat it. I gained so much weight. I gained so much weight eating Chipotle, especially when you eat it twice a day. As embarrassing as that is. So let me tell you guys a story. I was in college, and I found out you cannot visit the same fast food establishment twice in one day. So I would go to this like same Subway every day, no problem. Like whatever, she eats Subway for lunch, cool. Well, one day I was so fucking lazy, and I hated cooking, and I didn't have any groceries. So I had Subway for lunch, and I was like, you know what? I want Subway for dinner too. I'm super basic. Like at this point in my life, like I liked 5 things, okay? So I go to Subway for lunch, and it's like early lunch. We'll say 11:30 or something. Eat my Subway, it's later in the evening. It's like 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm thinking to myself, like, I wonder if those same workers will be there. Like, will someone recognize me? And I'm like, no, like, that's such a long shift. They won't know. Like, they won't recognize you. So I waltz in there, and the guy totally calls me out. He's like, hey, weren't you in here earlier? Like, hey, weren't you in here earlier today? I was mortified. I was like, yeah. And he thought it was hilarious. He's like, you're eating Subway twice in one day? It's like, dude, you work here, okay? Like, fuck off. So after that, I started going to two separate Subways because that was really embarrassing. So I would switch it up because I was not. I'm like, if he shows up at that other Subway, like filling in for someone, like I will just kill myself. Like that is horrible, okay? Anyways, so I learned this trick. So when I was just married my husband, we were living in Oceanside, and I love, love, love Chipotle. And I would sometimes get it for lunch, and then I would get it for us for dinner too. And I put on like 20 pounds, by the way. Chipotle is not healthy, guys. Sorry, Chipotle. I guess you can make it healthy, but I did not. I did not make it healthy. I did not. Really bad. Really, really bad. Anyways, so I learned you have to go to two separate stores because sometimes those people, they pull double shifts and they will call you out and you will be embarrassed for being a lazy piece of shit. So here I am now, a housewife with no kids and a lazy piece of shit. And that is why I'm creating this podcast because, you know, I need to do something, guys. Like, we live in frickin' Alabama. Like, I love it sometimes. It's really beautiful here. But, like, man, I'm so bored. Like, there's nothing, like, new and exciting to do, okay? So, like, I'm used to being from, like, New York and LA where, like, I can go take, like, a new, like exercise class. Like, oh, man, I love Y7. Do you guys know what Y7 is? It's like this hip-hop yoga class, and it's the coolest thing ever, and it's super dark. And it's hot. They don't have stuff like that here. People aren't into that here. Like, I don't think people exercise at all here. They just love going to fast food restaurants. And I'm sorry, Alabamians. I love you guys. You are some of the nicest people ever. But you know what I'm talking about. Get off your Chick-fil-A, okay? Stop hitting up Burger King. Stop it. Anyways, so I've really gotten into exercise. I go to the gym all the time, and it's just boring because we're going to have an exercise episode. We're going to have like a whole like health and wellness episode. I'm going to tell you about this girl, Anna Victoria, the Fit Body app. If you guys don't have it, get it. It is so freaking cool. Love you, Anna Victoria, if you ever see this. I'm like one of your biggest fans. I think we should be friends. Anyways, so I do my little workouts at the gym, and I cook for my husband and I clean. And cooking has become really fun for me. I create some pretty crazy shit. Like, I'm really good at following recipes, I guess. I don't necessarily create things, except I created my own sauce. That's right. I love Italian food. And there is no Italian food here other than Olive Garden, which I love. But like some authentic shit, no, does not exist. Hello, Italians. If you're looking for somewhere else to live, you need to go to Huntsville or Gunnersville area. You guys would make bank here. It's really reasonable living. Like, what's that word? Really, really reasonable cost of living. There we go. And yeah, it's not a bad place. And these people, they don't understand. They're missing out. They're missing out. Oh my God, I miss Italian food. So I had to learn how to make it. I make my own fresh pasta now too. I'm just so cool. I'm like such a chef. Anyways. But yeah, so I've like actually fallen in love with cooking. It's really fun for me. I have all the time in the world. Sometimes it takes me 2 hours to make dinner. And it's like, well, you know, what else am I going to do, right? That's the other thing with like exercise. I have no excuse to be fat. It's like, I have all day. Like, why? What's your excuse for not going to the gym other than being a lazy piece of shit? Excuse me. very concerned about being a lazy piece of shit, if you cannot tell. But yeah, so it's just like, it's weird. And like, we rent this house, we don't own it. My husband is on recruiting duty right now. They were very adamant about not buying. So it's like, okay, so we rent, we didn't buy. The Marine Corps was like, do not buy a house. So we're like, okay. The thing is this tour is like 3 years, and in that 3 years they can move you again to like another area. So I'll get into all that another time. Anyways, so we didn't buy, and it sucks because, you know, we're old people. I'm I'm 29. 30 is literally like looming over me. Like any day now, I will be 30. Like I am 29, and 30 is, it's just like right over there. Just giving me the stink eye, like, hey girl, yeah, I'm coming for you. It's like the Blob. 30 is like the Blob, right? And like this whole last year, I've just been like, oh my God, I'm going to be 30. And my husband loves to say, you're almost 30. To the point where I've started saying it. Like, instead of just being like, how old are you? And I'm like, 29 years old. I'm like, oh, I'm almost 30. Like, you know, I just have to get myself used to it. But anyways, it's right there. Maybe even by the time this airs, I'll be 30. But, yeah, so it's like, no, I'm almost 30. My husband's 34. It's like, I want to wear some big girl pants, okay? I want to buy a fucking house. Like, I'm tired of renting. I've been renting since I've been 18. Like, I am ready. And the military is like, no, young lady. You have to rent. So, okay, we're renting, fine. And it's wise. It's a wise choice, especially this area. Real estate does not move fast. We live on a lake town, and it is gorgeous, but it's expensive. It's really expensive. And like, I don't know the type of people that, like, young people don't live here. Or if they do live here, like, they commute, and I just don't think they really live here because we don't see them either. That's the other thing. Like, all of our friends that we met here in northern Alabama, they are like 50 and above, or like mid 40s and above. And the reason why is because A, people our age don't live here, or B, they do live here, but they have kids, and so they don't go out and do anything. Like, I don't know. Like, hello, people from northern Alabama, what do you do for fun? Really, I think it is like one of those two things. And so we've met some really awesome people, a lot of like retired military people. There's a lot of like government contracting jobs in this area, so it like really draws like that sort of security clearance, basically. But yeah, so it's like all of our friends are older, and that's okay. Like, they have like disposable incomes, they can do really cool shit. They don't have kids, or if they have kids, they're like grown and like doing their own thing. So it's really, we have a really good time here. Yeah, so I never thought of myself as someone who would do this. I always like kind of thought these people were pathetic. Sorry. And I've just realized, like, I am pathetic. Like, and I don't mean to, like, people are like, oh, like, this poor girl, she just hates herself. Like, no, I think I'm pretty fucking awesome. But, like, it's weird. It's a weird thing to do. And you kind of got to be at this point in your life where, like, shame, you know, doesn't bother you. And, like, your reputation, like, even, like, you know, but we live in a weird time, and this year, especially 2020, for those in the future watching this, it's a weird time, okay? And I've actually had a pretty good time. We're fortunate, like I said, we live on a lake town, and our friends have a pontoon boat. Whoop, whoop. So we've had some really, really, really fun times this summer, and even in the winter and stuff, like, they're just some crazy people. They're hilarious. Anyways, but yeah, you know, you see those like stay-at-home moms and shit that start talking to the camera on like Facebook Lives, and I don't actually know anybody like this, so I feel comfortable saying it, but like, they're shucking pearls on Facebook Live, and they look like fucking, sorry, I'm not gonna hate on what you look like, but you look weird, okay? Like, and then who are these people watching these things? It's just like, and then there's these other people that are making weird videos of them just like asking their spouses questions or stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? If those idiots can be on the internet and have millions of followers, and maybe I can too. So, that's one reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it also to try to maybe create this like creative gateway, which I think is kind of like an interesting concept. It's really like a creative getaway, but creative gateway, maybe this will be my gateway drug into all things creative. Who knows? But I want to be a screenwriter, and I've had a bit of a writer's block, and so that's what I was supposed to be doing while we're out here. We have 3 years. I was going to like write America's greatest screenplay. There we go, is what I was going to write. And it hasn't happened. I mean, I've written a first draft. It sucked. So, of course, I'll first draft stuff. But like now I'm working on it, rewriting it, but it's really hard and takes so much time, and then you hear this shit like managers saying crap to you like, oh, don't come to us, we'll find you. If you're worth your salt, we're gonna find you. It's like, well, I live in the fucking podunk nowhere, like back roads. Like, it's literally for hours. Like, it's like an hour, 45 minutes to Huntsville, okay? Anywhere else, you are driving out in the middle of the country for like 2 hours until you hit a big city. Like, that is seriously, we live in the middle of fucking nowhere. So it's like, you guys aren't gonna find me. So how could you potentially find me? I put myself out there. So here I am, putting myself out there to the universe. But yeah, so I'm hoping that this kind of helps with that, and this is gonna be experimental. You're not gonna come on here and find the same conversation every time. I don't really know yet everything that I plan on doing, but I'm an inspiring writer and an aspiring director. So I want to share some of that with you guys, and it's gonna be a little weird, and it's gonna be goofy, and sometimes you might not know, is she being for real or is she being like funny? Just know I'm always safe, okay? Like, if you ever have any doubts, it's all in good fun, okay? But yeah, you got to do stuff sometimes to take you out of your element, just to do something that scares you, make you feel alive. And this is definitely scary for me. It's really scary talking to a camera, and I'm going to have to edit this, guys. Yeah, I got to listen to my voice. Like, my whole life, my whole adolescent life, I was picked on mercilessly for my voice. And like, kids would, like, not even that, but like the way I walked, like, apparently, like, I stuck my butt out. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but like, I walked like this. Like, I don't know if I like a sway back or something, but like, I walked like and stuck my chest out. I didn't have boobs, so it wasn't like, and kids thought that I was like trying to stick my chest out to like make it look like I have bigger boobs. I have like a really flexible back, okay? Maybe I'll show you sometime. And I just like was 13 years old and had no idea what my body was yet. I got an ass overnight. Like, you know how most girls like wake up and they have like boobs? Like, I had an ass. And the only reason why I found out is because boys started slapping it. And I was like, what the fuck's back there? Oh, okay. Like, Mom, I got a butt. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And my mom has huge boobs. Gigantic boobs. No, skipped a generation, or I don't know, maybe, I think you get your boobs from your dad's side. Whatever. So, anyways, and then on top of that, then my voice. It was like, they would come up to me and I would be like, hi, I'm Allison. And they're like, hi, I'm Allison. And I'm just like, wow, it's like super mean. And then like they just all would do that all the time. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I have a super annoying voice. Like this girl, she bullied me in class and she would like mock my voice when I would like raise my hand. I don't know how I have confidence or self esteem of any degree because these kids were really, really mean to me. And I would go home and my mom was one of those that was like, honey, they're just jealous because you're so pretty and you're so talented and you're so smart. I was a dancer. And I would just be like, you really think so, Mom? And she's like, I don't. Can you think of a reason why they would, make fun of you? And it's like, well, yeah, I guess I'm a good person. I guess that's got to be what it is. They're just jealous, which I'm still not convinced maybe they are. But, but for real, like, kids are mean and you get one that's a little bit different and outside the box, I guess, and they're a target. So I'm going to continue to lie to myself and say that you guys are just jealous. I'm probably going to be super jealous of this podcast. I never will ever go to a high school reunion, so I don't give a shit. Go ahead and make fun, guys. But anyways, where was I? I'm going to check. So, like, when we first moved out here, I was writing, and then I stopped, like, really early on, and then I was not doing anything at all. And so I really, really felt like a piece of shit. And so I got a job with American Greetings, which is you stock cards, and I'll tell you guys about this job someday. No offense to American Greetings, you got a great product, but it's a lot of bullshit. And you just, and I should have tried to get some job. Like, I'm a writer, you're wanting like experience and stuff, and I don't feel like I've fully been immersed in the South because, working is kind of part of how you acclimate yourself to an area, and you meet people that way that you would never meet. And so I feel like I missed that opportunity a little bit. And when I was working on American Greetings, it just was a very isolated job. So the relationships that I did kind of get were very, very thin, I guess. They weren't super rooted because we just didn't really work with many people very often. But then COVID happened and I just didn't feel comfortable like working that anymore, and I just really kind of hated it too. Sorry. When you work so hard in an industry, so I worked in the film industry. I worked like a normal day was 14 hours. Like a good day was 12 hours. Like a bad day was like 16 hours and, working until 3 a.m. But I loved it. Like I just worked my fucking ass off and I hustled so hard. I went from being like literally an office PA on a commercial to moving to LA and being the writer's PA in the office. And that's what I want to do. And I did that within 4 years. I made that happen. And it's hard. And you'd have to do a lot of mean stuff. Like, I cannot wait to tell you guys the stories. There's definitely going to be an episode on things I had to do as a PA. First of all, just a little heads up. The art department, you guys are fucking insane, okay? Love you guys. You're so talented. But you guys treat your PAs like fucking shit. You are the worst. You guys are the worst out of all of the departments. Weird egos in the art department. But it's really weird. Like, working hard like that and then just stopping. Just stops. And I always complained while I was working, like, I wish I had more time to write. And because I was always a PA in some aspect, it's like I'm there as support. So at a drop of a hat, I have to stop what I'm doing and, like, go help. So it's really hard to get into, like, a rhythm of writing or anything because, like, yeah, you could be sitting there for, like, 10 or 15 minutes not doing anything. But I swear to God, like, as soon as you, like, pull up final draft and start your, typing, it's like, Allison, can you do this? And you're just like, yeah, okay, and you got to be like so humble and like, oh, of course. There's nothing more than I'd love to like just get you coffee right now. Like my wish of life is just making sure you have coffee. And that's not half of it. But anyways, so I always was like, man, I wish I could just like take a month off and like write my screenplay or write whatever. And then on the weekends, you're busy getting drunk, and I was single for some of that time. So it's like, or like my, just in my youth, like in my 20s. So it's like, I want to party. I want to have a good time. I want to get drunk. I want to forget about all the times I cried this week. And that's what you did. And your friends, they have similar type jobs. You're all just hustling and grinding together. And so you don't end up writing that much. And then I get out here for 3 years, and it's like, I have all this time. I have infinite time. And I don't know what to do with it. I have infinite time, and I don't know what to do with it. It's like structure is gone. Boom. And I could seriously sit here and just watch stupid TV reruns all day long. Like The Office or Seinfeld or Friends or How I Met Your Mother. Like, just stupidness. Not even like new shows. Like, not even movies. Like, at one point I was like, okay, if you're going to sit here and all you're going to do is watch TV, then you're going to watch movies that are influential and you're going to study them like a director would study them. You're going to read screenplays. At least read some screenplays, bitch. No. That worked out for a little while, but no. So here I am making a podcast out of my mind. I don't know what you guys are going to think of this. I'm really fortunate that I married someone who loves me so much, and not to brag, but I'm going to brag. No, I'm just saying, like, this is a weird episode. This is the introduction episode. I'm releasing the introduction episode along with episode 1 or episode 2, however I decide to, like, maybe that's episode 2. 1 and 2 at the same time. Making a decision right now. Episode 1 and 2 at the same time. Because I wanted to share some information about me. This isn't like necessarily super funny unless you think that I'm just sad and pathetic and that's funny, which maybe some people do. But like, it's weird. It's a weird time. And this is really weird for me to do. I feel so insane. Like, oh my God, I'm like having a really surreal moment right now. Like, I just became totally aware that I'm talking to a camera. Like, I'm picturing, like, you guys, this is weird. I'm picturing, like, imaginary audience out there. And I'm, like, I'm interviewing myself. It's weird. Okay, this is how weird I am. I'm not sure if that'll make the cut. Anyways. I don't even know how I'm going to cut this. Okay. Bah! Well, I don't know what else to say. Okay. I'm really excited for you guys to be on this journey with me. Yes, I said journey. I'm a cliched, basic bitch, okay? Cheers. But I'm really excited that you guys watched this. You made it to the end, okay? I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it, well, I do know why, to a certain extent, but I feel like there's something underlying there outside of, like, the obvious reasons to maybe try something like this, and that I don't know why. But we'll figure it out together. And I just appreciate you having some interest. Maybe you're a bored person too, and you just need something funny to watch, some asshole to watch on the internet or listen to on your way home for work to just get your mind on other things. And I hope I can be that for you in whatever way. And I have some really cool ideas. I don't know if they're going to pan out. We're going to try them. And I just ask that you guys be kind. Like, I'm just doing this for fun. It was really hard to set this up. I understand why not everyone does this, because that was actually one of the reasons why I was, like, never really entertained this idea, because I was like, well, sorry. Let me take a drink. Gotta wet my whistle. Anyways, yeah, I just was like, anybody can do this, right? Like, anyone, like, who am I? Who am I to put myself out here like this? Like, I'm just some nobody. But then I started thinking about it, and then I, started looking into different podcasts, and I didn't see anybody like what I had an idea out there for. I mean, there's tons of shit out there, but I'm like, okay, there's no Bored Housewife, so that's one. There's no basic bitch randomly talking about nonsense on podcasts or on YouTube that I know of. So let's give this a try. And also, like, yeah, I just thought, like, anybody could do this. So, but then I realized, like, no, not anybody can do this. Like, I already had my, like, professional website. I just bit my lip. Okay, I already had my professional website somewhat together. Like, it wasn't great, but it was, like, kind of there. And I, like, spruced it up, and, like, I paid for a domain. That was a bitch, but whatever. And then, like, there's so much stuff that goes into creating a podcast and, like, creating, like, this brand around yourself. I had to do a photo shoot one day, which, by the way, guys, I had COVID while I did the photo shoot, and I didn't know it, and nobody was here. I did it by myself. But, like, we'll talk about that another time. But anyways, I had to do, like, a photo shoot. Like, I put in 40 hours of work. Like, I put in a solid work week getting all this together, figuring out, like, my website shit, figuring out, like, you have to get a podcast host. You guys, like, there's just so much, like, I put in definitely 40 hours worth of work. There's just so much shit that you have to do. Like, I didn't know anything. Like, I had to do all this research. I had to research, like, is there anybody like me out there, you know? And not that I could really find. Maybe there is, but, like, I don't know. And then I had to, like, fix up my website. I had to, like, buy my name domain. I had to get a podcast host. Like, I didn't know this. I had to then make artwork. So I had to do a photo shoot of myself. And it's like, oh my God. And that was so much work. And I'm like, okay, not everybody does this because it's a lot of fucking work. And nobody has time for this. Like, everyone else that, like, a lot of people who do podcasts and stuff like that, this is a part-time job until you get to do it full-time. It's a part-time job. But I have all the time in the world. So I did it, and I'm doing it. And it's just kind of different for me. But I just want you guys to be kind. If you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like me, if you think my voice is annoying, I got an easy answer for you. Don't watch me, don't listen to me, and don't comment, okay? Be kind. Nice is nice, guys. Like, there's too much negativity in the world, and, you know, I can't help it if you hate me for absolutely no reason. I hate people all the time. Like, my husband and I were driving today in the parking lot, and this girl, she looked so stupid. She was just, like, could she not find this parking spot? I don't know, but she's just, like, stalled in the middle of traffic, like, in the parking lot, you know? I had to, like, get around her really weird. And I'm like, God, why is she so stupid? And I was like, I hate her. I fucking hate her. You know, we hate people for no reason. So if you listen to this and you're like, man, I hate that bitch, just turn it off, you know? You don't have to be mean. If you want to comment something mean, okay. I just want to let you know I'm a little sensitive. So I'm going to try really hard to put on some tough skin because I just know that not everything is for everyone. But if you did enjoy this conversation and you think I'm maybe a little bit funny and a little quirky and a little cute, for those who are listening, you have no idea what I look like, but I'm sure my voice sounds super, super sexy and super cute. But yeah, I just hope that you guys will come back and, you know, be entertained, and we will see where this goes. Cheers. I'm excited. Hope you are too.